The discipline to grow the ShiftMind Journey. There's a simple truth that most people never realize: growth doesn't start with talent. It starts with discipline. Because talent can make you shine for a moment, but discipline keeps you shining when no one's watching. Growth isn't something that happens by chance. It's built. One decision, one habit, one uncomfortable step at a time. And that's where the real difference lies between those who dream of change and those who build it. The foundation of growth. Most people never realize that the mind is like a muscle. It grows through resistance, not comfort. You grow when you fail and still try again. You grow when you feel unmotivated but show up anyway. You grow when you stop chasing perfect conditions and start building with what you have. That's the essence of a growth mindset. It's not about believing you can do everything. It's believing you can learn to do anything. It's not about being fearless. It's about acting despite fear. A growth mindset means you stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" It's the shift from limitation to possibility. And that shift changes everything. Because the moment you start believing that every failure holds a lesson, every setback becomes a setup for progress. People with a growth mindset don't wait for opportunity. They create it through repetition, patience, and daily effort. That's the power of self-discipline, the invisible force that transforms ordinary people into unstoppable ones. The discipline of every day. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's quiet. It's the alarm that rings when you don't want to get up. It's the notebook that waits for you even when you'd rather scroll. It's the moment you choose what's right over what's easy. Discipline doesn't ask for perfection, only persistence. Because discipline is not about doing things when you feel inspired. It's about doing them especially when you don't. Motivation fades, excitement disappears, but discipline stays. It stays on the mornings when the bed feels warmer than your dreams. It stays on the nights when you doubt your progress. It stays when everyone else stops. That's the truth no one wants to hear. You won't always feel like it, but that's the exact moment discipline is tested. Discipline is not punishment. It's proof. Proof that you're stronger than your excuses. Proof that you're loyal to your goals. Every time you push forward, you remind your mind who's in control, your habits or your purpose. And over time, that control becomes confidence. And that confidence becomes growth, the inner battle. Inside you, there are two voices. One whispers, "Rest, it's fine, you've done enough." The other whispers, "Keep going, you're not done yet." One voice seeks comfort. The other demands greatness. The growth mindset is choosing the second voice again and again until it becomes who you are. But make no mistake, discipline isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about loving yourself enough to keep your promises. Because every time you do what you said you would do, you rebuild self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Without discipline, you stay stuck in the loop of almost. Almost finished. Almost consistent. Almost ready. But almost never builds a legacy. To grow, you must finish what you start, even if no one applauds. Because the reward isn't always visible. The reward is who you become through the process, when growth hurts. Let's be honest. Growth hurts. It hurts to outgrow your old habits. It hurts to distance yourself from people who hold you back. It hurts to change when it feels easier to stay the same. But the pain of growth is temporary. The pain of staying stuck lasts forever. Every step forward will cost you something: comfort, control, sometimes even company. But it will give you something greater: clarity, confidence, and peace. Discipline doesn't just change your results, it changes your identity. You start to see yourself differently, not as a dreamer, but as a doer. Not as someone who wishes, but as someone who works. Because growth doesn't make life easier, it makes you tougher. And once you understand that, there's no going back. The shift. Somewhere along the way, you'll notice something subtle. The things that once felt impossible now feel routine. The goals that once scared you now feel natural. That's not luck. That's transformation. You changed not because the world got easier, but because your mind got stronger. That's the power of a growth mindset. To look at challenges and say, "This isn't happening to me, it's happening for me." Every obstacle becomes a teacher. Every failure becomes feedback. Every delay becomes preparation. That's what discipline teaches you: to trust the process even when it's invisible. Because growth takes time. Real change is slow, quiet, and often unseen. Until one day, you realize you've become the person you once hoped to be. The becoming. There's a peace that comes from living with discipline, a quiet confidence, a sense that you are no longer at war with yourself. You no longer chase success, you attract it through consistency. You no longer seek validation, you build self-respect. You no longer wait for motivation, you embody it. discipline becomes your freedom, and growth becomes your way of life. That's when you realize it was never about becoming perfect. It was always about becoming better. You've learned to love the process. You've learned to trust the climb. You've learned that success is not a destination, it's a habit repeated until it defines you. So, remember this. Growth is not found in comfort, it's forged in consistency. Discipline is not about restriction, it's the highest form of self-respect. And mindset isn't fixed, it's trained, refined, and sharpened every single day. You are not who you were, and you are not yet who you will be. You are becoming constantly, endlessly, beautifully becoming. Every decision you make writes the next chapter. Every action you take builds the next version of you. So stop waiting, stop doubting, stop wishing for change and start creating it. Because your mind will only grow as far as your discipline allows it to. And once you master both, you become unstoppable. This is ShiftMind. Shift your mindset, shape your future. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe.